Hello. I am here to explain Mugen Elevator, smiley face. Most of it at least. Now before I begin their stuff I'll need to say first. 1. This is how I interpreted it and saw it, meaning that I'm not 100% sure I got everything right, so please feel free to correct me if I got anything wrong. 2. Not all the clips and info are mine, so huge credits to those PPL. 3. Last but not least, Mugen Elevator doesn't include all the games about Mugen, so if you want to learn everything about Mugen you'll have to dig through the internet since most of it is lost media. Now first we need to understand the meaning of the word Mugen. What does Mugen mean? Mugen is a Japanese word often translating to infinite, limitless, or dream or fantasy. Now, who is Mugen? Do we even know who Mugen is? Well, actually yes, we do. Credits to these YouTubers for explaining it, that if you want to go watch their vids, you can. From my understanding, Mugen used to be a person a group of friends that made Roblox games. But in the year 2017, after someone played one of their games, their popularity got higher, leading them to make a group. Now some people think that the group isn't safe, but in reality there's nothing wrong the group. Now time to play the first game about Mugen. First we spawn in the lobby and meet 3 characters while also playing as one. First we have Cheeky. Cheeky can be known as a mascot for Mugen a trickster and a businessman. Basic info: Sentinel Mano, naughty leprechaun, better known by his fan name Cheeky, is one of the spheres from Vestaseg, where he appears in various fates. He is arguably the most popular character and the mascot of Mugen. Personality: Cheeky is a cunning, manipulative trickster. When Mano does something, it often has malicious intent with it. He likes to mess with people, especially the Mirror Man, and appears to lie incredibly often. In Mugen, Cheeky appears in the middle of a lobby, yelling at the players for not entering the paintings and giving them various threats. If Cheeky is touched, he will fling the player to a random painting. I'm Vestaseg. Cheeky sabotages Guy and Mirror Man in some of the fates. He sets down traps and interferes via other means to kill and trick the player, as his name implies. These traps range from a classic cartoony falling anvil trap to blocking the player's way and the objectives entirely. Time for the next character. Sailor. Now before I explain his lore, let's see his dialogue first. Now, who is Sailor? Exotic Sailor is the protagonist of the now deleted game O. It is a completely silent character, not even making any sounds when walking. But other than that, it seems like we have not much lore about him, which kinda sucks in my opinion, but moving on. Also in the corner we have a talking stationary object, but I don't think it's RLY that important. Now all we have left is Mirror Man. Mirror Man, officially known in-game as QXXXXXM, is the main protagonist within the Mugen game Vestaseg. And throughout the way, the player is able to upgrade Mirror Man to their liking through the way of various means. Mirror Man is also used as a temporary playable character for Swan location. Appearance: Mirror Man is a humanoid. Upright standing, reflective, being that reflects the sky, just like how mirrors do. Also, if Mirror Man comes in contact with Red Spike, an interactable object within Jekyll's temple, Mirror Man becomes red and dons a Rising Sun samurai helmet. Fun fact: in the current game version, the only Mirror Man fate that's available is the chest face fate. However, the cancelled Vestaseg V2 was supposed to feature at least 3 more Mirror Man fates. Now time for gameplay. Also IDK if there's more rooms, so if there is please let me know. First we have 011 balls. Now go to the back on the elevator.
Read.
TS is Spike. Spike, better known by its fan name Urchin, is an enemy found in Vestaseg which can only be seen in Saturn's fort, and in older versions of Vestaseg, Urchin also had its own fate. So yeah, not much about Spike. Also touching it in-game kills you. TS is JST Cheeky being an arsehole LOL. Here it seems to be every humanoid character in Mugen, except Mirror Man, having a conversation. Also TS painting is a reference point to the game Pineapple, I think. Now IDK what TS could be about, but it looks similar to the game Swan location. Also here we can see what looks like to be a leg friend. Leg friends were enemies, formerly encountered in the forest in Vestaseg. TS is definitely a reference point to the game DVD Man. Basically we have to jump on the correct platforms or we'll fall, like Squid Game. After reaching the end, we'll get Sun coins and you can even buy a CD from DVD Man. DVD Man is a game originally created by DVD_Man in 2018. Within the game, you take full Control of the titular protagonist. DVD man with the sole task of defeating the Apple boss and receiving a badge as a reward. Now this is probably about the game. Notepad Santa Claus. Basically, you gotta climb up TS tower thing. At the top you'll meet Dignity. Now I couldn't get to the top cause me to no pro, but basically he comes to the elevator and stays there lol. Now we have TS, but for some reason the heads wouldn't spawn, so here's another clip. Basically TS is a reference to this game. IDK the name, sorry. Where basically when you find a red head and click N, you'll be able to be teleported here. Now we have Sir Hunter, known as Death Hunt, which is a legacy Mugen game. The game was made public during 2017 and was later closed roughly 2 years later in 2019. Unfortunately, the game will not be made public again and is officially cancelled. The goal is simple. Put the eggs in the hole to get the death egg and run back to the elevator. Also, the eggs cause damage when you touch them and can kill you. Now when it comes to this room, I genuinely have no idea on what this could be. Basically, you gotta get to the end without stepping on a mine. You can also push the mines LOL. I also don't know what this room is about, sorry. But I do know is that if the rotten guy touches you, you will lose health. Now I'm pretty sure this is about the game Omen. In the original game you basically play as Omen. After you land and get out of the ball, you can go point to the diamond that flings you back to the elevator. Gem, full name Gem Guy, is the only enemy in Omen, and serves as a boss. That's basically it for TS level. Now we have TS level. Now I'm pretty sure TS is inspired by why the game sphere rain. JST like the text on top suggests. Basically it rains balls, or more accurately some of the spheres in Mugen. There's also some golden ones that you can collect to get coins. Now TS is about by the game pineapple or ananas I think. Also TS room brings us Noob that guy. Noob is a recurring protagonist featured in games such as Racknet, first version of the Swan, Location and Ananas. In other games he is JST the normal Noob avatar. However within Ananas, Noob is shown wearing a yellow sun sword badge. Also in TS game touching the pineapples does damage, and Noob that guy has dialogue. I have no idea what game TS room is about either. But basically you'll need to find a specific person I in the room, and when you do they'll come to the elevator and they have random ass dialogue too. Now I'm else pretty sure TS is about the game Man of 7 Shingles, or to be more specific, the Rockwalkers of the game. Basically, Rockwalkers are the only reoccurring enemies in Man of 7 Shingles. They also appear in Vestaseg in the forest, protecting the gold, and they attack the player. Next we have Omen shop. There's nothing much here other than Omen selling us things, so here's some lore about Omen. Omen is an important character first debuting in the earliest versions of Vestaseg. The character is also one of 2 only characters to have their own standalone titles. He's also supposedly called the Potato by Cheeky. TS is JST Omens coming into the elevator. Also when touched they cause damage. I also don't know what game TS is or the characters. Also TS painting is referencing to the fan shirt of the game that you could buy. Basically every sphere in Mugen but small. Now TS is most likely about the game Sausage of Soul. The main goal in Sausage of Soul is to produce and ship bologna, but here we are eating bologna LMAO. Here's some info while I eat bologna. The guy on top of the stove is a meat clown. They are characters that come in many shapes and appear in multiple games. Basically here you gotta eat as much bologna by clicking on the bologna on your plate. and whoever eats the most wins. Now we have Vestisegg. In the game, players assume the role of Mirror Man and navigate through various locations. After confronting Glass or other Fate entities, the gameplay revolves around solving puzzles and overcoming powerful enemies to advance in the game. Unfortunately, the original game is currently unplayable as of May 5th, 2026 as it's unrated. Here the goal is the same as the original game, which is to put Guy, the ball, into the stone. Platforms to defeat Israel Glass Ball. After you'll get coins in the original you're able to continue playing the rest of the game. Unfortunately, I couldn't beat it here. Fun fact, you can actually push Guy, the ball, in the elevator. TS also might be linked to the game DVD Man. Basically in DVD Man Apple is a boss that you have to defeat. But here you have two DoorDash apples too. PPLLOL. Also you can get stuck into people's houses if you click on them LOL. TS is most likely about the game Ranked that was popular before. Yes, it was a part of Mugen, I think. Ranknet was a single player game created by Mugen, one of the ex-members of the Mugen group. The game itself was a very difficult challenge to complete. Upon doing it, the player would have been awarded an ending badge. The game is now merged with Swan Location, and if you try to join the game, you will instantly get teleported to it. IDK what TS game is about. I'm lazy to search an IDK what TS game is about either. Very pretty and it has cheeky in it. Here we have Cyclops and his cooking. Cyclops is one of the sphere gods in Jekyll's temple, first debuting in Vestisegg, sometime around 2018. Much like Omen, Cyclops has his own standalone title by the name Ananas. However, said title has yet to be released. Also, his dumbass burns the food. Now I couldn't find anything about the game and I'm not sure what game it is, but I have a feeling it might be the game Linguine. Since the mountain looks similar to TS clip right here. That's JST a guess though and I'm probably wrong. TS room is based off Smoke Hiking Hat, as we can see on the top of the screen. There's really not much here at all. Anyway, Smoked Hiking Hat was one of the old Mugen games, made in 2017. However, it has been private and unlisted. Also there's signs telling you that nothing is here. TS is based off the game Satan from the original game Satan. Now I couldn't find any clips online so here's the gameplay as text. Satan is an old Mugen game, created by the original unnamed group on the 9th of October, 2015. Upon joining, the player would appear in a dark deserted place, shrouded in dense fog. Although it may seem that the place is entirely empty, roaming somewhere on the map would bring you to a corroded cross. Touching the cross would crash your game while playing an extremely loud noise. Also, I got sent back to LB for the cross animation. Would finish but the cross would look like TS. IDK what game TS room is about, but it seems to be a gallery. W Mugen related things. TS room ISNT about a specific game but more so a character. TS right here is Senor Diego, Bernard, or just Diego. He is a Fate character that can replace Guyan is a musician, and is one of the more popular and well-liked characters of the Mugen community, being one of the only characters that doesn't come off as highly eerie. Now back to the game. Basically, you get a Tasho W a number on and you have to go to the door W that number. Then you give the person the Tasho. Now TS1 is a bit different since it's about the game Wood Grain. By the way, you can't play it on mobile, but I don't think you can play the game on PC. Collect Wood Grain is a unsettling horror experience on Roblox created by Wazez. The game revolves around exploring a mysterious, liminal environment where you are tasked with finding and collecting pieces of wood grain while avoiding terrifying entities. And the interactive character named Wood Grain Guy is a character that is in the game Collect Wood Grain that is made out of wood. He also has dialogue in both games. I don't really know what TS is about, but it might be Abo about Man of 7 Shingles, considering the fact that both games have mining in them. This is JST I guess though. But basically you have 2 mine to find a DVD Man plush. And once you find it, you get a DVD Man plush. Next we have Egg Hunt. Basically, TS Floor is about the very first Roblox egg hunt game. The very first Roblox egg hunt. Sometimes referred to as the 2007 Egg Hunt, is a Mugen game by Clow_Brewer. In this game, the player takes control of Bigger Head, a character who had made several appearances prior to the game's announcement, which traverses the map in search of the 8 classic eggs from previous Roblox egg hunt events while avoiding Sol Sun. Sol Sun, previously known as Fierce Orb, is an antagonist and a mascot of the Mugen group. It was originally introduced as a fake character in Vestisegg shortly before becoming the main antagonist of the very first Roblox egg hunt. Here we basically JST collect eggs that fall from the sky. Here is JST the bite of 87 but Mugen. I don't know what game this room is about. But basically we climb this wall to get point 2 at door 2 get money. Now TS is about the gamer or devil. Basically you spawn as a grey figure in a grey room with 5 ways, 2 that lead to 2 different tombstones, 1 that is blocked off, and another that leads to a hall that leads to a wall with the floor being a bunch of stone pillars varying height. Also the white guy is supposed point 2 be at the end of the floor, but for some reason he was hiding here. That's basically it. He'll put any new info in a pinned comment.
Bye.